Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at everyone's least favorite topic in English, conditionals. How to say sentences with I would, or I would have done, if this had happened. It can look really confusing, but we're going to look at a really easy way of how to understand it. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so the key tip to how to use conditionals is to start with what you already know. And what we already know is how to use will for real things in the future. I will go there tomorrow. How to use would, we know this already, for theoretical future things. I would go to Hawaii if I had lots of money. We know would, it's easy. And would have done. This is a past theoretical situation. And we've learned this already in the course. So all we're going to learn today, guys, is how to add an if part of the sentence, because this is what makes it a conditional. So let's start with will sentences. I will go to the party. If I want to add an if, we use if plus present tense. For example, I will go to the party if you invite me. If plus the present, invite. And this is called a first conditional. So the key thing here, guys, is on the if side of the sentence, there should never be a will. You should never have two wills. You should never say, I will go to the party if you will invite me. Remember, we never have two of anything in English. We don't have two pasts, we don't have two questions, and we don't have two wills. So it's I will go to the party if you invite me. And if you like, you can say the sentence flipped around. You can say, if you invite me, I will go to the party. But personally, I find it easier to always start with what you know, which is the will part. Okay, let's move on to second conditionals. This is using would. So we know that would is for theoretical situations. I would go to the party, theoretically. If we want to add the if part of the sentence, we say if plus past tense. For example, I would go to the party if you invited me. So it's if plus the past, if you invited. And this is for a theoretical situation. So again, guys, the key thing here is on the if side of the sentence, there should never be another would. You should not say, I would go to the party if you would invite me. That's a very common mistake. And some native speakers even make this mistake as well. It should be would and then if plus past. I would go to the party if you invited me. Alright, now let's move on to third conditionals. These are the hardest ones. This is using I would have done sentences. So we know would have done sentences already. We use the modal verb, would or could, and then have, and then the third form. I would have gone, I would have helped, I could have seen that, you might have noticed. This is not too bad. It's always the modal verb, have, and third form. If we want to add the if part of the sentence, we use if plus had plus third form. And I know this is looking a bit complicated, but we'll talk it through. So for example, I would have gone to your party if you had invited me. So if plus had plus third form, invite, invited, invited. And again, guys, the key thing here is on the if side, there should not be another would, okay? So this is a very common mistake. You should never say, I would have gone to the party if you would have invited me. And actually, a lot of native speakers make this mistake, especially Americans, but it is grammatically wrong. It should be, I would have gone, and then if you had invited me. There should never be would on both sides of the sentence. So lots of students always ask me, Jacob, how the hell can I remember which side has the have and third form and which side has the had and third form? And I always tell them, guys, it's easy because we already know that past modal verbs is always would, have, and third form. Could, have, and third form. So you know on that side is have and third form. That's the other side that must have the had and third form. So now that we can see all three conditionals on the screen, you can see there's a pattern here. On the if side, we start with if and present, and then we go to if and past, and then we go to if and had and third form. And another word for had and third form is past perfect. So we're going from present to past perfect. So in every conditional, we're kind of going back one tense into the past. Alright guys, so let's have a look at another example. Let's start with the first conditional with will. So the sentence can be, I will help you if you ask me. So this is a real situation, so we use will, I will help you, and then we have if plus present, if you ask me. So guys, think about how would we say this as a second conditional, a theoretical situation. Okay, so we start with would, because that's for theoretical things. I would help you, and then we have if plus past tense. So I would help you if you asked me. I would help you if you asked me. Remember, never ever use two woulds. Never say I would help you if you would ask me. Okay, how about the third conditional? How do we say this as a past theoretical situation? Okay, so we start with our past modal that we already know, which is would plus have plus third form. So I would have helped you, and then we have if plus had plus third form. If you had asked me. Okay guys, so that is conditional sentences, first, second and third conditionals. So remember the key things, always start with what you know. We know will, we know would have done. And then remember with the if side of the sentence, we have if plus present, if plus past, and if plus had plus third form. And there should never be two wills in the sentence, two woulds, or two would haves. So guys, I hope that makes conditionals feel a little bit easier. To have some more practice at this, guys, we've made a quiz for you, and the link for that is in the description. And remember, this topic and all other topics have a summary box in our beautiful leaflet here. So maybe you can see here, hopefully if the camera's focusing, we have a lovely little box that shows these rules, so you don't have to remember it straight away. Just get the leaflet, you can download it on the website, and then whenever you're trying to speak, when you know you're going to say a conditional, just find the box, read it from the box, and after you do that a few hundred times, you don't need the box anymore, and then you've got it in your head. Remember to check out our podcast, guys, for some advanced listening practice and some fun conversations in English. You can find the links to everything down in the description, and I will see you in the next video.